What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to say, all right, you're supposed to get on the radio and basically let the whole world know that you have to take a shit. You just go a comfort. So you got to let them know. You got to let control know that you got to take a comfort. So you get to the train station. Then that's when the train operator gets out of the train, has to find the bathroom, which could be at the other end of the platform for all you know. And while that's happening, traffic behind you is backing up. So now you're destroying the road as well. And everybody hates you.
Hey, dispatch, this is John.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to next stop take a comfort.
Exactly. And or you could just have a large bottle of Gatorade, take a piss while you're driving and chuck it out the window. Or you can stop the train in between 5th Avenue and 53rd Street and 7th Avenue and 53rd Street. You could stop it around 600, 700 feet after the station. And, when no one's looking, you can stop the train. You can step out of the train and go onto the bench wall, the catwalk. You can quickly lower your pants while sweat is pouring from your forehead. And you can take a shit. And thankfully, if you're lucky, you would have a towel with you because it was so hot that day that you were using a towel throughout the day to wipe the sweat off your brow. And then when you got there and you needed something to wipe your ass, you luckily had this towel handy. So you would wipe your ass with that towel. That's what you could do. Or so I've heard. That's what you could do if you were ever in a situation like that. Hopefully I won't be in a situation like that.
Did you keep the towel? Did you keep the towel?
I don't know what you're talking about. I never had.
Do you throw the towel on the track after you're done?
Hypothetically. If that were me, I certainly would not keep the towel.
So, but what would happen if that towel caught on fire and all of a sudden you got a track fire? Because hypothetically, Irwin took a hypothetical shit.
Then hypothetical Irwin would do what any other good transit employee would do. He would put his head down and keep moving. Let the next guy find out. It ain't up to hypothetical Irwin to report fires. I got a train full of people here that need to go to work and go home. Let's go.
Wait, you said you were on the D train. Ain't nobody going to work.
D train stops at 34th Street and Midtown Manhattan. You racist asshole.
Yeah, but you said you were going uptown at that time.
At what time? On the D train? I didn't have to take a shit on Sunday because I didn't eat anything. Oh man, it's been so long. Baseball playoffs. Kansas City Royals, Baltimore Orioles, 5-5 in the bottom of the 7th. Orioles about to take the lead in this inning.
Now, is this the worst possible scenario for baseball with these teams that are in it?
No New York Yankees, no Angels, no Dodgers. They wanted those.
There's no big market team.
Big market team. Is San Francisco a big market?
Nah.
They wanted the supermarket team. Detroit lost. That's a big team, but it's baseball. It's kind of boring to begin with. Mike's clearly not into it. No Mets. He's only got this on because there's no football games on or anything else. Yeah, calm me down. Yeah, which is a good idea because when I came in here, when I got out of my car, my nose just started bleeding profusely. It was like a fucking geyser, man. I got scared. I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital. Thankfully, I got it to stop, though. All right. Yeah, man. Oh, it was terrible. A cut would have been more manlier, I guess. I got a nosebleed. Cardinals are in the LCS Final Four for the 4th year in a row. That's nice. And they're playing the fucking Giants. Because they got beat by the Giants in 2012. They were up 3-1. And in an old episode, I was watching a game with Michael J. Putty, and we saw the turning point here.
No, you saw it.
I saw the turning point. Yeah, it was game 4, and he threw that pitch he threw the ball to second base on coming off a grounder instead of getting the automatic out. And I told Michael J. Putty, this is where they lose the series. And the Cards ended up losing 3 straight after that. 3-1 lead down the fucking drain. Sports is weird like that. There's moments where the tide gets turned, and that was it for the Cards. Like in 2004 with the Yankees and the Red Sox, during that whole 03, the turning point for the Red Sox was when Dave Roberts We just basically went from first to home plate on like he stole second base and then he got the third base and then he and then there was a sacrifice fly. He basically got from first to home plate in 3 pitches. All right, so there were some things that I did want to talk about, some topics that we had. First topic is fucking Ebola. It's on my mind, like, Stephen. Like, a lot of people, I don't know, like, to me it's a big deal because for 20 years, it's a big deal for many reasons. One reason is for 20 years it was the baddest virus on the planet, kicking the shit out of Africa, right? And then a white man got it, and it was, and then they were able to treat it and cure it within a week. So that's one. That's one reason. Allegedly, because a nurse in Spain caught it from a Catholic missionary. A nurse in Spain caught it, and she's dead now. The New York Times reported this nurse from Spain. She stepped into this guy's room 2 or 3 times, and that was enough for her to get Ebola. And I don't know, man. You gotta have bodily fluids. I mean, it's crazy. She was only in there like 2 or 3 times, and then she got Ebola, and now she's dead. And this fucking Liberian guy that was in Dallas, again, it's crazy being black. He's West African. They know he's West African in a region ravaged by Ebola, and nobody at the airport says, all right, were you in contact with anybody with Ebola by any chance? Never gets asked. He never mentions that, which could have saved his life if he fucking did. All right. Then
I was talking to Jen about this because when he died, I said he deserves to die.
Deserves to die. Go ahead. Why?
You know how many lives he put in danger?
Yeah.
Like, he could have killed a lot of people.
I'm thinking more, bro. Yeah, I'm thinking more. This is the tip of the iceberg, dude.
And just the fact of that, and hold up, you got Ebola. Why are you going to Dallas? You're black. Why would you do that? You think they're gonna really help you over there?
He had his girl living there.
There's no black people in Dallas?
They're not very friendly to them.
He had his girlfriend living there.
This guy's crusty fingers.
That's fucking gross. Can you pause that and take a photo of that?
Okay.
Of the crusty finger? And John's gonna love this. I had his mic down the whole time. So he was making a great point about
Really?
Your fucking microphone.
The whole episode?
That whole time.
I think it was mine too, because I'd never heard myself the whole time.
Yours is on the whole time. I'm fired. Like, man.
So I have to make this whole point again?
I'd like for you to...
I'll give you the cliff notes. Black people suck. John's a racist asshole.
Yeah.
Well, John just... I don't know if we heard him out there. I hope we heard... I thought I heard you on the microphone, but... I mean, John just made the point. Well, John, you should be number 2, right? You're mic 2 or mic 1?
He's 1 on 2.
Mike,
All right,
so
I've had you. You're the one that I've barely heard, Mike. So everybody just heard John's point, and Michael J. Putty's taking a photo of this this fungus ridden thumb. That's right, ladies. He's available. Look at that. Is that like a fucking cut? What is that? I think that's Ebola.
There's a cut on his
dude. He's oozing fluid. That's Ebola. He's from West Africa. He's got Ebola.
It's gross.
I mean, the guy from Liberia was visiting like an ex-wife or something who happened to live in Dallas, and they were trying to reconnect. He got Ebola. This is fucking... It's sad. He got Ebola because they knew somebody in the village, like this old lady, that was suffering from it.
So he banged her?
No, he didn't bang her. Him, his uncle, and his brother carried the lady with Ebola to the hospital.
Ugh.
The 3 of them got Ebola. They all died. The 2, like the uncle and the brother, died before the Dallas guy. Like I said, he knew he was in contact with Ebola. If he mentioned that at the airport, he could have saved his own life. It was so crazy. And so he gets to the hospital, and the hospital turned him away, which is mind-boggling because they had to know he was from an area that was ravaged by Ebola. All right, he's from that area, and he's exhibiting symptoms. Pick up a fucking newspaper. Pick up a newspaper. I mean, I remember in August, I read a story about a quarantine in a Liberian village that went wrong. Like, the Liberian government sent in troops to quarantine a village, and the people under quarantine, they wanted out because they felt they were being abandoned. They weren't getting help because they had fucking Ebola. That's why, and no one wanted to go near them. So they tried to break the quarantine, and the fucking troops responded with the riot police, with the automatic weapons and the riot shield. And the Times had a photo of a kid that had like half of his leg blown off. I mean, he's
gonna die anyway. He has Ebola.
He has Ebola. It's a net. But the point is, it's been a big story for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, it's just a fad.
You know, so who knows? So this goes back to my original point. Maybe if the guy was from Ireland, or if he was some white man if he was a white man from a sensible European country, all right, then maybe he would have had the common sense to say, I have Ebola, or maybe they wouldn't have turned him away at the fucking hospital.
Why do you keep saying Ebola?
Yeah, that is pretty weird. He's like,
I corrected you before too. And
he's like the U.S. government with ISIS or ISIL. Like, I don't know which is it.
I don't get it either.
Yeah, so now we're just. It's Ebola, Mike. It's Ebola.
Ebola?
It's Ebola.
What's Ebola?
It's for this show's purpose. It's going to be Ebola. And
well, I saw I think it was on the news. They had that one guy, but I guess he had it. This white guy, he had it, and I guess his antibodies just, kicked its butt, and he's like completely healed of it.
I heard this a couple years ago. Some guy got Ebola, and they took his blood, and they used it as a vaccine.
Oh, maybe was it Wolverine?
No, but that's what this guy, all of a sudden, after this black guy dies, there's like another person, I guess the journalist or whoever was that got it.
Yeah, the antibodies, sure.
He sends it to him. I go, wait, so he doesn't send it to the first guy who has it, so let me send it to the second guy.
No, the white guy gets treated. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. See, what that Liberian motherfucker should have had with him was if he came to the United States with a canister of oil, like a bit, like just a big, like one of those big tank of oil, then maybe they would have saw him coughing and they would have fucking reacted. Who knows? All right, before I get into my second topic, I want to mention ISIS in Syria, or ISIL in Syria, or the Islamic State in Syria.
Ice pop.
We stopped the podcast and look what happened. I remember like a year or so ago, we were talking about Syria. Don't get involved. Stay the fuck out. And the Obama administration did the right thing. Stayed out of it. Didn't get involved. All of a sudden, Erwin and his wife have a second kid, and we stopped the podcast. And now we're about to get into the Iraq War 3
because they stopped listening to us.
We stopped making shows, and they stopped listening.
They weren't hacking us. Right?
You're the voice of reason.
Yeah, right. They had nothing. The NSA had no reason to listen to our show anymore.
Snowden, whatever his name is.
Snowden.
Snowdy.
I like that. Let's make up a name for him too, right? Let's mispronounce everything.
That's where that guy should go.
To where? To Syria?
To the ISIS. ISIS.
The ISIS?
Ice pops, whatever the hell this is.
To the ISIS. Yeah,
but is that how you pronounce it? Because when you look at it, it doesn't say ISIS to me. It says like Isis.
Well, the only reason I say ISIS is because I think the press has been calling it ISIS. Like, there's chicks named ISIS. It's spelled ISIS. No. That's the correct pronunciation.
Like, who comes up with these names?
I don't fucking know.
Terrorists?
Man.
Yeah, but it's like, oh yeah, let's get crazy and call ourselves Isis.
I mean, it
stands for something in their language.
Yeah, it's abbreviations, like NABLA.
Yes.
There's a great bit on his HBO cartoon called The Life and Times of Tim. And he had to pretend that he was Mexican to get a promotion. So he pretends he's Mexican, he gets promotion, and then he's at a conference. The conference, like the name of the business association, is called the North American Mexican Business Leaders Association. So the guy gets up there, right, and of course it says NAMBLA right behind him. And the first thing he says is, he goes, "Okay, welcome to the North American Mexican Business Leaders Association. We're not changing the name. We have all that stationery, so we got stationary business cards, so it's gonna stay like that. All right."